Yo, what is good, everybody? It is ya boy, Golden Falls, Golden What Ifs, whatever you want to call me. I am back. This is the finale of What If Deku had a spirit quirk. As always, though, please, if you enjoy, show some love, leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below. Also, check the links in the description. I have a Discord, so please go check it out and try your best to interact on Discord because it's dead, and it's all my fault that it's dead because I don't even interact in it enough. And yeah, so sorry about that, but I hope you guys can go check it out and maybe talk to some people over there and have some fun. And yeah, that's all I got to say. So I don't want to waste much more of your time, and I want to get into the last episode, so let's get it. Izuku Midoriya and Mirio Togata are standing in front of the man by the name of Overhaul, and they have to make a decision. They have to either save Eri right now or let him walk away and, well, do whatever, well, he could possibly do. At the end of the day, they don't know how dangerous this person is. They don't know how fearful they should be, and they don't know how more or less confident they should be. You never know. This could be a scary situation, so you gotta be definitely careful. At the end of the day, they have to be dealing with someone like Overhaul in a very important manner. So Mirio is trying to make the decision, but Izuku would end up making that decision for him because he would swoop up Eri with one of his spirits and take her away almost instantly. And as all of this is going on, Overhaul would begin freaking out, going to attack the two of them, but Izuku would jump immediately toward Overhaul, and he would eventually go transparent. As he does, Overhaul is about to grab Izuku, but he then can't. And when he's basically next to Overhaul, he would jump into Overhaul's body, and boom, it was almost borderline over because Overhaul was now taken over. Izuku would then tell Mirio to get the police and everybody as well, get help, and basically he's going to take Overhaul into prison. And he's going to do it right now because this is some serious stuff, and he needs to hold on to Overhaul, and his mental fortitude and will is pretty damn good, so it's pretty difficult to hold on to Overhaul entirely. Some time would pass, and Izuku would finally get the help that he called for, and everybody would arrive and help out to a large degree, basically maintaining and restraining Overhaul entirely. He would jump out of Overhaul's body, and Overhaul would be in complete shock about what happened, and he would say that he's never felt like a passenger in his own skin. That was the most disturbing thing he's ever gone through, and frankly, it was probably the most disturbing thing he'll ever go through to this day. And Izuku would just kind of shrug it off hearing Overhaul talk like this, because frankly, he has no sympathy for him. There is no sympathy. There's nothing that is really going to make him feel bad for the guy. Like, he doesn't really care. And on top of that, let's be honest, Overhaul kind of deserves a lot worse. Like, flat out a lot worse. But still, with all that said, Overhaul is finally put into prison, and they no longer have to worry about the leader of the Shiha Hazaikai. But the Shiha Hazaikai is still running strong and is something that they're going to have to deal with still at this point. Izuku and many others will team up and kind of come together, and they will head to the Shiha Hazaikai base when they can. And when they arrive, they would see that they were kind of like completely and utterly prepared for the conflict. But Izuku was also massively prepared as well, because Izuku would send spirit after spirit towards them, and let's just say this would be the perfect thing for Izuku himself and many others. The spirits themselves, like the Nomus and many others, would do their job very well, and frankly would do a hell of a job in general. And let's just say the spirits themselves would shut down a ton of the incoming villains that were possibly kind of going to be part of the initial invasion. The spirits would handle quite a bit of the heavy lifting, and Izuku and everybody else would clean up relatively easily. Now, with the Shihazaikai base completely in ruins and now finished off, there's very little for Izuku to do, at least at this moment. He continues on with his work study with Sir Nidai, but there also is some stuff he should do when he gets back to class. And of course, they do have the Class 1A versus Class 1B coming right up. And Izuku is going to be interested in this specifically because he wants to see how he stacks up with the other heroes, or the other future heroes being that of Class 1B. Now, the type of people he's going to have to go up against are relatively interesting, but the main person or the main people that really interest him and pique his interest is Monoma and also Shinso, who's currently training to actually join one of the classes. Now, he doesn't know that much about Shinso, but he does know of his quirk. In terms of Monoma, he knows that Monoma can actually steal his quirk if he's not fully careful. But he's not too worried about that because, well, let's just say Monoma doesn't have the skill range that Izuku really has with the quirk and with, of course, the spirit-like quirk. So he's not too worried about it. But when the Shinso aspect of this would begin, it would be something that would be kind of, or at least mildly difficult. Dealing with Shinso, who has kind of the ability to use his voice to control people, is a pretty hard task in general. And it's shown to be the truth when he begins to use a voice modifier to mimic other people's voices. This would put them on the back foot, at least initially. That's until the spirits and all the spirits that Izuku has summoned begin to do their job. Because once they start doing their job, it is over. They begin to kind of send a barrage of spirits toward the people of Class 1B, and they really have no way of stopping them. Izuku watches as his spirits kind of take over the battlefield. Nomu-like spirits and other spirits alike, even some smaller, more tame ones, which are just made for mostly scouting or maybe even sneak attacks. And these spirits would easily make the training session very simple. But at the same time, if Izuku was face to face with these people as well, there would be no kind of issue necessarily. Because Izuku, well, in terms of hand-to-hand combat, in terms of fighting in general, he's pretty damn, well, good at it, right? He's pretty good at utilizing his own strengths and denying his weaknesses, very similar to the way Mirio fights as well. He takes a very, very kind of inspiration, large inspiration from Mirio Togata. So he does have some benefits in doing what he's doing, or in benefits in doing everything that he's kind of been up to overall throughout this time. Now, in terms of just all of those things, right, Izuku and his teammates would obviously pass, being that of Mina, Uraka, and also Mineta. They would pass pretty much on the sole basis of Izuku Midoriya, but nonetheless, they were all kind of doing their own thing, all benefiting each other, and kind of doing an overall good job, right? That's what happened. Now, this would lead them to kind of continuing their journeys with different work studies, different internships, and different things like that. This is where Izuku continues his work study with Sir Nidai, continues learning under him, learning under Mirio, and honestly taking on kind of mission after mission, and it continues to give him kind of more experience that he believes and feels that he really needs, in which is always a good thing, because experience is a big component of being a hero. So at the end of the day, he's getting all the experience he needs and all of the kind of ideas and fighting strategies that he wants to get into, all wrapped up in a little kind of bundle, and you could even say. Now, Izuku would continue working and training and doing all of these things, and begins climbing up the kind of the ladder of kind of potential heroes in terms of what people believe is going to happen. A lot of people believe that Izuku is going to be a top hero. A lot of people believe that Izuku is going to end up being a hero that is, highly ranked. But for now, being that he's only a first year, he's obviously not going to be highly ranked, and he's not going to be, some hero in the rankings. He still has his provisional hero license, so he's not going to be all the way up there just yet. But nonetheless, Izuku is no joke by any means necessary, and he continues to show this throughout this time, especially because there's going to be a mission coming up very soon that he's going to be involved in. Now, this mission is involving the Meta Liberation Front. The Meta Liberation Front is kind of unknown, at least for the moment, and eventually the heroes would stumble across them. The Meta Liberation Front is kind of like this city that is left on its own, and a lot of people believe that they should just leave it as it is, but it seems like they're getting a little more gutsy, trying to expand more of their little civilization. So Izuku, Sir Night-Eye's agency, being that of Mirio, Izuku, and many others, people like Bakugo, Todoroki would join in as well, and they would take on what this Meta Liberation Front has to offer. And this Meta Liberation Front, hey, they are no joke. They are no joke at all. And, well, Redestro is a pretty strong component of the entirety of the Meta Liberation Front. But, still, with that said, Izuku's Spirit Nomus, and all the help in general that they're going to have throughout this time, will allow them to easily handle what they need to handle, and kind of dismantle this group from kind of just, or with kind of ease. Be able to dismantle, handle, and also deal with this group in general would allow them to kind of see their way through and arrest a lot of these villains that needed to be arrested, or that had more or less search warrants out for them, or kind of their thing out for like a search out for their arrest of some sorts, right? So of course they're able to deal with all of that, and they're able to handle the majority of it for the most part. And this would lead him into kind of his understanding of what a hero, and also what can a hero truly be. Because a lot of these people, they're kind of just misguided, right? A lot of these people, they still deserve their second chances. And this is when Izuku believes that these people who aren't necessarily your traditional or possible traditional heroes, he believes that they should get a second chance. So throughout the years of him in schooling, and also his work with different agencies, he begins to try to make some sort of headway on a rehabilitation. Something that is near and dear to him, because when he got his quirk, he was in a bad place mentally. And frankly, he felt as if this wasn't their kind of doing, or their kind of judgment to be made, in terms of basically saying like, hey, these people don't deserve a second chance. Izuku believes that every single person deserves that second chance. So that's exactly what he's going to give them, and that's what he wants to give them for the most part. So Izuku continues working with this program, and tries to make this program kind of doable, and frankly, and eventually, it's able to happen. Eventually, this program is able to be made, and it turns out to be a perfect thing for Izuku. He begins to kind of work with and help many people. And when he would finally step into the world of being a true and confirmed hero, he would have a lot of experience under his belt, and frankly, his agencies would grow massively. Izuku Midoriya, from the very start, was born with what a lot of people would look at as a defect. A lot of people would look at Izuku Midoriya as someone who is less than, as someone who lacks something massive and will never reach the goals he seeks after. But he was able to prove everybody wrong. He was able to prove everyone and everything wrong. And at the end of the day, Izuku has now many people cheering for him, and that includes the people who basically are watching on from a different life and a different world at that. And Izuku is happy to see it, because yes, these are spirits, and some, well, let's just say maybe they didn't really want to stick around, or maybe some decide to, leave whenever they can, but they still believe that the hope and dreams of heroes themselves are followed and kind of centralized around Izuku Midoriya, and they can't wait to continue watching what the kid can do, and they can't wait to see him become an even greater hero than his ancestors alike. But his hero journey and everything that comes with it is basically on the horizon and is about to start rising above even the mountaintops. Now, with all that said, Izuku's entire journey, his entire hero journey, and his entire life as a true hero is about to begin. But that is where the story of My Hero Academia ends, and when we transfer into the story of the Phantom, or even the spectral hero Izuku Midoriya. But with that said, this is where the story ends for now, and if you enjoyed, please show some love, leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below. I was going to think about kind of doing this a different way, but I decided against it. I have some ideas for special content that I was interested in doing as little one-shots. I wanted to run it by maybe the hardcore people that are watching this video right now. I know you guys are real ones, and I know because some people, maybe they watch part 1 to part 2, but then they're kind of, hey, I don't really want to watch anymore. If you're watching this part, my idea is to do maybe a quote-unquote movie for maybe something like this, or maybe a different what if, where I call it like, what if Deku was a spirit Quirk hero type of thing, and I basically make it centralized on a kind of a fake idea, or like I said, like a what if idea that I do, and I base it on how I believe his journey as an actual hero would go, right? So not his My Hero Academia. This is all of the journey throughout school, but how his actual journey would go, how he would affect other people within the story, how I think Izuku would be as a hero. Do I think he would be number 1? Do I think would he fall short? Would he end up not making it to the mountaintop that he seeks? Maybe we'll do videos like that in the near future. Just an idea. If you guys want to see something like that, maybe we will do it. With that said, though, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below. And yeah, that's all I got to say. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope all you guys have an amazing day. Later.